You are manifesting all the time, whether you realize it or not. The difference is you might be creating lack, pain, and repetition while thinking you're just surviving. What no one ever told you is that there's a forgotten code, hidden right in front of your eyes. I am. Yes, those two simple words you say without even thinking. I am this, I am that, are direct commands to the quantum field. And while you believe you need more effort, more courses, or more luck, the truth is, what you really need is a new vibrational identity. Sounds too mystical? Then here's the catch. Even science now admits that your outer reality responds to your inner state. Your I am is the access key to that invisible control panel. But here's the shocker. If you don't consciously choose what comes after I am, your fears and old wounds will do it for you. The cost? A life that never really moves forward. Yet when you learn to use this code, with clarity, presence, and intention, everything can start to shift. Faster than you can imagine. There's a force that lives in the silence between one thought and the next, and very few dare to touch it. When someone says, I am, even without finishing the sentence, something already begins to move within the quantum field. It's like the soul brushes against the source, that invisible space where quantum manifestations are woven before they become matter. Science and spirituality, once seen as opposites, are now walking side by side, exploring this vibrational starting point. The I am. It's not just a verb, it's a portal. And no, this isn't cheap mysticism. It's the physics of being. Imagine a brush dipped in invisible paint, revealing its color only when the stroke is complete. That's how I am works. When you say, I am happy, or I am lost, you're literally painting your reality on the canvas of the quantum field. The difference is, few people consciously choose what they place after I am. Most let fear, ego, or old conditioning decide for them. And as philosophical as this might sound, it has very real effects. The kind that shape your relationships, your health, and even your bank account. In a universe where everything vibrates, even your words carry frequency. I am is the tuning fork of your identity, the note that echoes and ripples like waves across a lake. If what you place after I am doesn't match your inner state, you're sending out noise, not harmony. And the universe, or rather, this sophisticated feedback system we call the quantum field, responds to coherent sound, not chaos. That's why alignment between who you are and what you say is the real secret to manifestation. After all, have you noticed how truly prosperous people never have to shout that they are? And here's the gold. When someone anchors their I am in being, not in having or appearing, something aligns. It's like turning on the soul's GPS and syncing it directly with the creative source. From that point on, everything that follows I am gains power, direction, and magnetism. I am peace. I am light. I am prosperous. Stop being wishes and become creative decrees aligned with the core of your being. And if that still sounds like an exaggeration, maybe what's missing isn't proof, it's practice. Because I am isn't just a theory, it's the doorway into the so-called God state. But we'll get to that in a second. The God state isn't a place or a belief. It's a vibrational state of pure remembrance. It's when a person stops seeing themselves as a small piece on life's chessboard and realizes they are, in fact, the whole board. It's when someone moves beyond the limitations of the ego and merges into the awareness of unity with everything that exists. At this point, science and spirituality start to dance together, exploring this expanded state of consciousness that vibrates through quantum manifestations. It has nothing to do with arrogance, and everything to do with presence. Living in the God state feels like waking up from a dream where everything seemed separate. The person stops searching outside for what was always within. Thoughts no longer fight feelings. Actions simply flow as a natural expression of being. There's no more sense of trying to manifest. There's only knowing, I am the manifestation. And when that happens, the quantum field recognizes that coherence and responds with almost mathematical precision. But here's the thing. No one stumbles into this state by accident. The God state demands inner alignment, clearing limiting beliefs, quieting mental noise, and stopping the habit of blaming others. Most of all, it requires taking full ownership of whatever follows your I am. It's like rewriting your own source code with awareness. Of course, that can cause a little existential glitch at first, because embracing that level of power can be intimidating. Yet that's exactly where the key lies, the one that unlocks the next level of life. Being in this state is like plugging a power cable straight into the creative source. What you think, feel, and declare stops being noise and becomes command. I am abundant, when spoken from the God state, isn't a wish. It's a vibrational reality being transmitted in high frequency. Quantum manifestations have no choice but to respond. And honestly, if this still feels out of reach, maybe what's missing is understanding the how. Because access exists, and yes, there's a path to get there. It all begins with silence. Not that noisy silence full of mental notifications, but a silence that lets you feel the I am without rush, without labels. In that stillness, the human being touches the raw quantum field, pure potential, formless and free. Here, science and spirituality meet in the most powerful and simple practice of all, being present. It's in this space that the inner slate is wiped clean, making room for a new vibrational identity to emerge. After reaching that neutral point comes the crucial moment, choosing who you decide to be. It's not about an external goal, but a state of being. I am abundant isn't about the money in your bank account. It's about feeling whole, worthy, and capable. Here lies the secret. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. The quantum field, like an obedient mirror, reflects precisely what you embody. The magic happens when thought, emotion, and action move together in harmony with I am. Saying I am healthy is a great start, but if your mind still expects sickness, your body feels fear, and your actions sabotage your well-being, the quantum field receives mixed signals. Alignment is everything. Quantum manifestation doesn't respond to the words you say on autopilot, but to the total energy you project. That's why living your I am takes consistency. And yes, a bit of emotional awareness every single day. But no one said it's a microwave formula. Holding that state requires loving discipline. Repeat, adjust, listen to yourself. Your I am today might be I am free, and tomorrow it may evolve into I am limitless. That's not inconsistency, it's expansion. And with every new version of yourself, a new reality begins to unfold, almost like magic, but grounded in pure, integrated science and spirituality. Now imagine applying all of this in practical areas of life. That's where it gets fascinating. Let's start with the one that hits the hardest: money. Many people spend their lives saying, I am broke, and then wonder why their finances never improve. The answer lies right there in the sabotaging I am that keeps repeating unconsciously. But when someone begins to declare, I am abundant with conviction, something shifts, not only in their words, but in their behavior. The quantum field responds to that new vibration, and opportunities start showing up in unexpected ways. An unforeseen partnership, a profitable idea, even a bill paid off ahead of time. And the body? Oh, it feels everything. When someone keeps saying, I am tired, the whole system obeys. More fatigue, more laziness, less vitality. But when they shift to I am full of energy and match that with quality sleep, mindful eating, and movement, the outcome changes completely. The quantum field recognizes that new vibrational signature and supports the manifestation of real health. It's not magic. It's biology tuned with intention. In the spiritual realm, I am becomes both compass and altar, declaring I am divine presence is more than poetic. It's a daily reminder that we are never lost. Science and spirituality already show that the brain, in meditative states, reaches higher levels of coherence. So when someone truly lives the phrase I am light, they start attracting more than good vibes. They attract purpose, direction, and synchronicities that feel straight out of a movie. And anyone who has felt that knows, some things only the invisible can explain. But here's the thing, living your I am doesn't mean pretending to be perfect. It means sustaining a conscious identity even on the hard days. Because even when everything seems to fall apart, you can still declare, I am resilience, I am learning, I am expanding. And the quantum field, that silent partner, keeps listening. With each vibrational choice, you shape the next version of your reality. Of course, not everything is smooth sailing. There are traps along the way. And that's exactly what we're about to explore next. It's easy to fall into the trap of the empty I am, the one that comes from your mouth but never reaches your heart. A person says I am prosperous, but deep down feels guilty for wanting more or afraid of not deserving it. The quantum field doesn't get fooled. It responds to vibration, not automatic words. That's why the real work isn't just in declaring, but in clearing the beliefs that block coherence between what you say and what you feel. Otherwise, your I am becomes nothing more than spiritual makeup. Another common mistake is using I am as a megaphone for the ego. I am superior. I am better than others. That path doesn't manifest greatness. It creates imbalance. The true God state doesn't shout. It whispers with humility. A consciousness that recognizes its unity with all things has nothing to prove. This is where science and spirituality intertwine once again, showing that higher frequency vibrates through simplicity, not arrogance. Some also confuse manifestation with control. They wait for the new car, the doubled salary, the perfect relationship, and when it doesn't show up, they conclude, this I am thing doesn't work. But their focus is misplaced. True manifestation begins with identity, not outcome. When you are, having becomes a natural result. And that's the blind spot most people can't yet see. Then comes a deeper level, the I am, that confronts the shadow. It's when you declare, I am free, and suddenly find yourself trapped in old fears. That's the quantum field saying, there's something here to resolve first. The real leap isn't running away from it, it's facing it. Using I am as a tool for transformation, not just attraction, because before you become God in the outer world, you must first conquer the demons within me, and that's what makes the next stage even more powerful. Turning I am into a daily practice doesn't require an altar or a retreat in the Himalayas. It requires presence. In the morning, instead of rushing to your phone, what if you sat in silence and declared with intention, I am energy, I am centered, I am creator. This isn't self-help mysticism. It's vibrational preparation for the day. The quantum field is already there, waiting for your signal. The more coherent that signal is, the more precise the return. In the middle of daily chaos, take a strategic pause. A minute between meetings, in traffic, or even in the restroom, wherever you can ask yourself, who am I being right now? That simple question instantly realigns you with your chosen I am. It may seem small, but that's how new neural connections, new frequencies, and new realities are formed. Science and spirituality both call it identity reprogramming, and it's far more effective than most people think. At night, the ritual continues. Instead of just reviewing your tasks, reflect. Did I honor my I am today? Write it down, feel it, Examine your actions through the lens of the identity you're building. This isn't about judgment. It's about tuning the instrument that plays your vibrational melody. And here's the beautiful part. The more you live your I am, the less effort it takes to manifest. The quantum field starts operating on the autopilot of your frequency. And if resistance shows up, that's a great sign. It means you're touching old beliefs. That's where shadow work begins. Why does my I am make me uncomfortable? It might hurt, but that's where the real reset happens. Through practices like vivid visualization, physical anchors, like placing your hand over your heart as you affirm, or journaling exercises, you turn I am into a spiritual muscle. And that muscle is what will sustain the next forgotten code we're about to reveal. Few people have truly understood that real power doesn't lie in what you do, but in what you are. The phrase I am isn't just grammar, it's vibrational engineering. Through it, humans stop being victims of circumstance and become authors of their own script. When you say I am, you're writing direct lines into the code of the quantum field. And if science and spirituality already agree that everything is energy, it makes sense to start where energy is organized, within being. The so-called God state isn't mystical fantasy. It's access to a consciousness where I am no longer depends on external validation. It's when identity isn't shaped by the past or social expectations, but by the truth of your present vibration. And in that frequency, everything starts to respond, as if the universe finally recognizes the sender of the command. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And that's a paradigm shift that requires no effort. The secret lies in aligning thoughts, feelings, and actions with what you've already declared yourself to be. Saying I am confident means nothing if you live apologizing for existing. The quantum field isn't impressed by words, it reads frequency. And that frequency strengthens through conscious repetition, refined choices, and the courage to uphold your new identity, even when the world doesn't understand yet. This is where the line is drawn between those who only study and those who truly transform. Of course, it's not a magic formula. It's practice, consistency, and self-responsibility. I am is more than a technique. It's a philosophy of life, a return to the source, a forgotten code that, once activated, changes everything. Manifestation stops being trial and error and becomes a natural consequence of being. And if you've come this far, you might be closer to this code than you think. But before any leap, there's something you need to read right at the beginning. Now that you've rediscovered this forgotten code, tell me, will you keep saying, I am tired, I am unlucky, or will you start declaring, I am prosperous, I am unlimited, I am the creator of my reality? Because the truth is simple yet powerful. The life you live is a direct reflection of the identity you sustain. The quantum field doesn't respond to weak wishes. It responds to the steady vibration of your being. So, who are you choosing to be from today onward? Will you keep running on autopilot, driven by inherited beliefs, or will you take charge of your own existence? Change doesn't begin with the world. It begins with an inner declaration. And if this message resonated with you, don't let this knowledge fade here. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow the next videos. Because this journey of alignment between science and spirituality is just beginning, and you won't want to miss the next step.